Today's episode is sponsored by Audible. Get a free audiobook download and a 30-day free trial at audibletrial.com/pitchitmoviepodcast. They've got thousands of amazing titles for you to choose from that you can download on your mobile device, computer, Kindle, or MP3 player. You can easily listen to books on the go. Audible makes it incredibly convenient. To download your free audiobook today, head on over to audibletrial.com/pitchitmoviepodcast. Again, that's audibletrial.com/pitchitmoviepodcast for your free 30-day trial on us. Now, on to the show.
I mean, no, we're always at the Mr. Hollywood Towers.
Yeah, I thought that you guys get flown in via helicopter.
That's true. Yeah, right. No, he doesn't even give us a car. He doesn't even give us a scooter. He gives us
tickets to really bad Ja Rule music festivals. Hold on, can I just read this real quick?
That's my pitch. That was my pitch for today.
This is from Vice.
Yeah? This is amazing. What he's about to tell you is the most amazing thing you will hear.
You and I were just talking about it.
Yeah, we were just talking about this.
This is from Vice News. Rich millennials paid thousands for Ja Rule's FYRE Fest and now are stranded on an island in a disaster relief tents. FYRE Fest was supposed to be the most luxurious music festival ever, an ultra-exclusive party spanning 2 weekends on a private island in the Bahamas with private jet travel built into the extravagant ticket price, where Instagram ingenuines, and including Kendall Jenner and Bella Hadid. Ingenues? Is that what it is? Yeah. Ingenues?
Yeah.
Whatever. Ingenues?
Fucking
engines.
Instagram stars. Whatever.
All right, well...
Can I take a picture? Yeah.
They're stuck on the island.
This is fucking great, and none of the artists actually played, right? Did they play?
The production was a shit show from its inception to its spectacular collapse Friday. The exact words separately used by 3 people who bought tickets, though only 2 actually made it to the island. Great Exuma in the Bahamas. Beginning early Thursday, many of the advertised private jets, which turned out to be chartered commercial planes, departing.
This is long.
Yeah, the gist of it is...
You're bored of this? This is amazing.
The gist of it is, and this is a few weeks ago at this point, but there was this high-end music festival, and Ja Rule was an organizer, right?
Yes.
And
come to my music festival!
Oh, no, that's DMX.
First of all,
that's Ja Rule.
Wait a minute. Is there like a cat version of DMX where instead of barking all the time, they're just meowing? Who is this person?
We could start it.
I think it needs to happen. All right, I'm sorry. Continue.
Sort of like an Eddie and the Cruisers.
If DMX voiced...
No, nothing like Eddie and the Cruisers.
He should do voiceover work in movies.
Ja Rule!
DMX should.
Oh. But I just confused
DMX? Yeah, my DMX and Ja Rule are the same. Sorry.
But our guest, Jeff Frumess, this is our guest here.
You didn't let me do the thing.
I didn't let you do it, but I wanted to...
It's not officially started until I do the thing.
Well, you
it's like my only job.
All right,
just like the show's not ended until you do that ding.
Well, he took the ding thing from me a few weeks ago.
Always trying to take my thing away.
Sorry, we'll go back.
Okay, here we go. Ready?
Yes.
Welcome to the Pitch It Movie Podcast. My name is Peter Bune.
I'm Sean King.
I am Will Puntarich.
And today's guest, Dick,
sorry, Pete,
is director Jeff Frumess. What's up, Jeff Frumess?
Hello. Thank you guys for having me on your
Thanks for coming.
This is amazing.
Okay, now go ahead. What do you have to say?
Well,
Sean?
our guest Jeff Frumess was talking about this music festival. I mean, obviously he was thinking about this as a pitch because Will and I were talking about. Well, this is just news just in. But Will and I were talking about, on the way here. We were talking about this music festival that went to shit.
It's still happening. It's this whole week.
Right.
Like, they are still stranded there as we're talking.
Wait,
right
Kendall
now.
Jenner is still stranded?
No, she's not there.
No, she's probably fine.
She probably took.
It's all those.
Yeah.
Can I just say
they probably airlifted
I'm
her
very
out,
happy that this happens to only the best kinds of people, which are like white, wealthy millennial kids.
It's so beautiful.
I'm very happy that you got robbed. And I hope worse things happen to you as you're there.
Tickets were like, this was like a weekend festival or like a 2-part festival, and tickets were like at least $500 or whatever.
No.
And they went
like
up to
12,000,
1,000 to 12,000.
Oh yes, and they were offered, or they were guaranteed like luxury tents.
Yeah.
And like high end
so
food.
they're in a fucking like disaster relief area.
Dude, there was like wild boars like rummaging.
No, vagrant dogs like chewing up tents and like.
Well, Sean was telling me about the food food that they got. There was a photo of it. It was supposed to be this like very, very high end food. It's 2 pieces of bread, cheese, and like some fucking
some
lettuce.
salad on the side.
My question is, who thought that Ja Rule was relevant enough or wealthy enough to pull this off?
Yeah,
That's
kind
the
of
question.
random. Kind of a random.
It is very.
What is Ja Rule doing with all the money?
Well, I'm sure that he got financiers to do this, but that's probably where it all went wrong. Is the financiers probably took the majority of it?
He's not the one from Fast and the Furious. That's Ludacris, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So it might
Ludacris
be.
I'm
still
going
good
to
hands.
the Ludacris music
a
festival.
better choice would be the Ludacris one.
I think we might have to refer back to that South Park episode with the underpants gnomes. We've seen phase 1, and phase 2 will eventually develop. I don't know what it is yet.
I
but,
do want to
Shame
be
I have not
stranded
seen
on
it.
a desert island with Kendall Jenner and Bella Hadid.
Well, this
No, that's cool. That's fine. It's just
I'll
want to
pay
be
$1,000 for that.
This could be a setup for a fucking awesome
Zombie movie?
Well, we were on our way here. We were talking about Tropic Thunder too. So
yeah.
this could be like
Okay, that's
this,
pretty good.
This could be like because we just watched the trailer for that shitty Amy Schumer movie, and
Oh,
we were
no.
like, "Fuck
Snatch
this!
Job.
This
Have you
looks
heard
like the
about this?
shitty version
the
of."
worst.
I've seen it.
That made me want to retch.
Have I heard about this? That's been out for like months. That trailer.
Well, we
Oh,
didn't see it. We're not as up to.
Did you watch the trailer?
Speed.
Yeah, like 2 months ago.
Oh, they're still trying
If
to
you
push
go to the
Amy
movies,
Schumer on people.
they show
They had that Play Before
trailers.
Life, that space movie that's basically like Flubber and like Little Shop of Horrors too. And
I
like,
thought it was like a mix of Alien and Flubber.
it's like Alien Flubber. Okay, ready? It's Alien.
Oh, did you see
Flubber.
it? You
I
saw
did,
it?
and I actually enjoyed it, but as like a B movie. You know, the characters
I
are
just
really
thought
flat.
there was too much handsome for one movie.
Yeah, I mean, you see
this-
Ryan
this
Reynolds,
can't
and he
be
just
right.
punches you in the face with his good lookingness.
And
He
then
is
Jake
fucking
Gyllenhaal
handsome.
punches you on the other side.
Oh,
of
that's
the
right.
face.
He's I forgot.
It's aggressive handsomeness.
Yeah.
Well, first, before we go any further, Jeff, we got to talk about what you do, who you
Okay.
are, and what you do.
Okay.
And you have a movie that
Yes.
is in the process
Ja
of getting
Rule in
out
it?
there, right?
Yes, hopefully.
Ja Rule,
I would. I wish that he was in my film.
Is
I
he
would.
financing it?
I wish. I don't wish that because it'll probably be less than the cost of the movie itself. But yeah, no, it's so.
Romeo's Distress. Tell us
Yes,
about
Romeo's Distress. Well, okay, so I've been trying to make a movie for a really long time, a feature length narrative. I've done some documentary work, and I just one day I saw The Battery. That really kick-ass zombie film.
That was good.
That's a good one.
Which isn't even it's a zombie film with like no zombies in it, really.
It's like a buddy zombie
It's
comedy.
It's like a
or
buddy
drama.
mumblecore,
a
like
pitcher and a catcher.
yeah, pretty much.
2 baseball players.
Yeah.
Which is just called The Battery.
The Battery,
Yeah.
exactly.
Are in
And-
a zombie wilderness, yeah.
And they made it for $6K.
Yeah.
And they shot it on a 5D. And I saw this movie and I was like, okay, there's no reason that I should not be just getting out there and writing a script. So
Isn't
that's
that-
exactly
yeah,
what I did.
That's the once in a while, once every few years, something comes out to show you that, like, what the fuck are you doing? You're sitting on your ass doing nothing. talking about movies,
Right.
talking about making
Are
them.
you talking about us?
Oh no!
That's what we do.
Oh no,
This guy's too meta.
Oh no,
we make
my
we make-
feelings.
We make movies sometimes, but no, it's true, and it motivates you like nothing you can imagine. Just like
Yeah.
when back in the day when Robert Rodriguez did, or
Right. That's the first. I mean, you read
Yeah.
the book. You read Rebel Without a Crew. I put out a Craigslist ad. I was like, are you a rebel without a crew? That was literally my
that's how you
question
started.
mark.
Yeah, that's how you started the.
It's a really
I-
nice
yeah.
headline.
Yeah,
I like that.
that.
listened
Call
to
to arms.
I listened to the audio book because we are sponsored by Audible. So.
Yes.
That's true. Does Audible must have a great deal on that audio?
Yes, Rebel Without a
Crew.
It's read,
Rebel
it's
Without
read
a
by Antonio
Claw.
Banderas, actually.
Oh yes,
Day 23.
Wear cargo shorts so you can stuff lenses in it.
and then he went like this. He went,
Yes. Should I unbutton my shirt now? Is it too sexy?
Yeah, but El Mariachi's an awesome movie. Though.
It is.
It's
It is.
great.
From a filmmaking perspective, though, more than like, I mean, you just look at that movie and you look at what they did with so little and you just go, I love this movie not because of the movie itself. I love what was
Done.
done.
Yeah, what it represents.
Yes.
Yeah, pretty much, which is just the can
spirit.
do. Yeah, just the ingenuity and the can do and just the passion. Because
But
you have
even
a choice of not to do it or to do it. And
Yeah.
it's just like you're going to find a fucking way to do it. And I'm assuming that's how you made Romeo's Distress was.
Well, here's what's crazy, and I love telling the story because it just, to me, it was like the universe had called me. So before I came up with the script for Romeo, I had another script. It took me a year to write the script. It was my first script. It was 120 pages, which I'm sure all of you guys know is just ridiculous ridiculously long.
That's long, yeah. It's
Like
a hard
just
job, man.
disgustingly long. But in my head, I'm going, oh well, it's 1 page per one page per minute.
Right.
It'll be a 2-hour movie.
Right.
And I put out that Craigslist ad, and I got a response from this guy, Nick, who is like the man, and we met and had a conversation about this script, and ultimately realized that it was just not shootable at the level that I was trying to make a movie at. Then I went home and I watched The Battery. By the way, I'm kind of telling this out of order. And then whose name is in the credits of The Battery? But the guy I just had.
Oh, get
Whoa.
out.
Yeah.
Really?
He did the sound.
No shit.
So I sent him a text message.
So
I'm
he's
like,
in the trenches already.
so I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, Nick, you did the sound for The Battery? I just watched that movie. And like, that was the movie. That was the real movie that was like, you don't need to make this previous film. It was like the 120-page script. It was like you can just go out and fiscally spend a couple $1,000, fiscally responsibly spend a couple $1,000 and just shoot a movie in White Plains, New York.
I think that's
right,
kind of
right.
awesome that there was this synchronicity between.
That's
the
why I
two
love
of you
telling
as
the
well.
story. That's
'Cause,
why I
like,
love telling
that
the story.
That's actually very chilling because like you had like the universe kind of brought you two together.
I truly, I mean, I
of a
believe so.
coincidence.
I don't know. It was magical. And this dude is like, he's just, I couldn't have made the film without him. And then he tells me, he's like, I'll do the sound. He said, I was looking for a producer. And he's like, well, I'm not a producer, but I do sound and I'll do the sound for you. And then when we met, and we discussed this, I got this new idea. The second screenplay took me a month. It was like lightning, the Romeo screenplay.
Second version? Second
No,
draft?
no, like my second screenplay. The first one took a year to write and it was very hard and I had never done it.
That's different from
different
Romeo.
script.
That's different from Romeo. And then the second time I wrote a script, I sat down, I had this idea in my head and I sat down and that one took a month and the script was 70 pages and I showed it to
Yeah.
Nick and Nick was like, yeah, we can do this.
Yeah.
And then he was like, you should shoot the movie. And I'm not a cinematographer. Okay. And he was like, no, you shoot it and I'll do the sound and we'll make the movie. And
Probably because The Battery was probably done the same way. They were like, well,
They had
learn
6
how to
people.
do it. Yeah.
they had
that's-
6 people,
Oh,
but we
that kills me.
We had 2.
That kills me.
That's not true.
A skeleton crew like that, like that's how I work, skeleton, and like.
Well, that means
you
that
can
you're
make a feature.
Kind of the best
You
way to
can make
do
a
it in
feature.
certain aspects.
That means that the producer or the director or the sound op is getting up in the morning and making sandwiches. And,
Yeah,
and
That's
had-
me.
That's, that can be
everyone
soul
has.
crushing.
Yeah, everyone
that's-
has like 5 jobs.
Yeah, that's
Nick
great.
Nick would come in and he would do. I did all the production design. Nick would come in and he would do. He would pretty much light the whole thing. We shot the movie in camera monochrome because I'm not a cinematographer and I don't know anything about color temperature. So, and I love black and white like more than anything in the entire world. So I was like, because I love Night of Living Dead and stuff. But I was just like, okay, well if it's in black and white, then I'll be able. I just got to look in the viewfinder and be like, oh, it looks good.
Yeah,
Okay.
you know what you're getting. It's not like you're shooting raw later
Yeah,
or fixing it.
Yeah, and that was the craziest part. Was like, if I could do it again, I would have shot in color and done more post work. But we were just literally like, everything that's in camera, everything that you see was what we got in camera. So Nick was just genius with lighting some of this stuff because he just what you see on the image looks really great as a result of Nick's lighting.
And you know what you're getting immediately. You're not leaving it up to some post because you probably
Right,
do. Like
yes.
I don't have.
I am the
budget
post
for-
guy.
Right, you are the post guy, and if you're
Yes.
not that savvy with post,
Yes.
you're just like, let me just lock it in now and do it right. And so the whole experience was. Sum it up, man. Was it?
It was,
You gonna do it again or what?
I'm trying to do it again right now, actually. I'm working on my second screenplay. It's called Hit Run. That one came in at 51 pages, but I think it's going to be 85 minutes long. I really believe that.
That's what's something you learn when you produce your own scripts is that page count bullshit is pretty much bullshit because you can't factor in the action the description of the action. You can't time that kind of stuff. You can only time dialogue in a script, really.
And sometimes, like, even with the dialogue, I found it's like, it's like this one little thing, this sort of like monologue thing on a page at the bottom of the page. That should be, 20 seconds. And it's like, it ends up being like 1 minute and 30 seconds because of the way that he says it or the way that they take their time or they thought of something on the fly. And
you can't figure in that kind of, performance. And how long it's gonna.
What is the movie about? I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, go ahead.
you.
Yeah, do a quick synopsis.
So my elevator pitch Romeo, because I was like, trying to market this because I'm just trying, I'm in this education of like, how do I sell and market my film on my own? I made the movie.
That's why you're here.
That's why I'm here, partially. But, so I had to can I say the entire movie's plot in a single sentence? And I think if you can't do that, if you're trying to make a film or you're trying to get a film made, and you can't say the film's plot in a single digestible sentence, then you're going to have problems.
Yeah, you're going to have a hard time.
So Romeo's plot is, or Romeo's Distress is about a boy named James, his unrequited love for a girl named Jane, and her father's sadistic response to it all.
That sounds.
I like that.
I got to see it.
So it's,
Based on that.
It's like, you know what it's, to boil it all down, it's like a scenario where what if Romeo loved Juliet, but Juliet did not love Romeo back, and so it's like the horror
obsession?
is the doom and gloom is like this girl doesn't even know I'm alive, but I know that I'm the star-crossed lover, and all the unhealthy, you know, there's like so much unhealthy obsession that comes with that, and
So it's not like Fear with Marky Mark.
no, definitely not.
That fucking scene where he's
That's
like
a great
beating his
movie.
chest.
Fucking movie rules.
I have not seen that in forever. That I'm trying to remember. There was something on a roller coaster.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
The
roller
finger
coaster.
banging on the roller coaster.
Finger bang. That's what it was.
Finger bang.
Yes. So.
I actually saw that at my friend dragged me. My friend, she dragged me to see Fear at the Alamo. Sorry, really quick.
Yeah, go
But
on.
like, I was like, I am not fucking going to see Fear.
Why would you
in the
not
theater.
want to see that?
It was awesome.
Because it's always on TV. It's always on cable.
it's on the big screen. Yeah.
But on the big screen and the Alamo audience. Oh my
Yeah,
god,
yeah.
it was like
Audiences
a
add
comedy.
so much.
Like
It is-
it was a
yeah.
comedy.
It is a
watching
comedy
it
now.
with that Alamo audience. It was fantastic. Like I recommend seeing it with an audience.
So, Jeff, real quick, like, what was we got to get into our pitch, but
Of course.
real quick, tell us what was like the first kind of eureka moment, the first thing you saw, or the first thing you read, or whatever it was that inspired you that said, I got to be a part of making movies. I got to do this. Was there, because I see you wearing a Brain Damage shirt, and we love Brain Damage.
It was
We
the
love
finger
Frank
banging
Henenlotter.
scene.
I just met Frank Henenlotter a couple weekends ago, and it was really. I met in the same day. I met John Waters, Frank Henenlotter,
Whoa.
and Lloyd Kaufman all in one day.
Oh my God!
So it was
where
like
were you?
I was at the. My film was playing at Romeo was playing at the New Jersey HorrorCon and Film Festival.
Oh yeah. Okay, right. Yeah.
And
Awesome.
So I was down there,
Holy
and
shit, man.
I was like 10 feet away from John Waters as he was doing the spoken word, his spoken word
Yeah,
thing,
that's
and
great,
it was
yeah.
just
That's awesome. And Frank Henenlotter's a really. I was an extra in one of his movies.
Oh, really? Bad Biology?
No, Art Thieves.
Oh, yeah. That's the documentary, right? Or
well,
something?
it's like I don't even really know.
Docudrama.
I haven't even seen it.
Didn't that turn into the Banksy movie? He's
Nick,
doing?
Yeah.
Nick did the sound for that too. My
Oh, shit.
from Romeo, yeah. He does all the sound for Frank Henenlotter.
So you
Guys,
guys probably saw him.
Did we just become best friends?
Oh my God!
I think so.
Our penises are tied together now.
Have you ever heard of tummy sticks?
Oh,
What?
God.
No.
I just heard
Don't
about
tell
this
me,
for the
don't
first
tell
time.
me.
All
I
right,
don't
sorry,
wanna
this
know.
is
I don't
not
wanna
for.
know.
Yeah, it's crazy. Just look it up, people.
My
Tummy
mom
sticks.
listens to this.
Is that like
Yeah.
docking?
What? I don't even know what.
No, wait. What,
wow, I just got that.
Wedding Crashers has a whole segment on tummy sticks.
No, it does
Yeah,
not.
the movie Wedding Crashers.
Then I totally went over my head.
I
that
do
reference.
not remember that part.
remember that
okay,
either.
now let's talk about it.
Let's. Well, no, it's
What
like
is tummy sticks?
There's that like one of one of
really
the characters in Wedding Crashers ends up like the I guess the bride to be or the family that they hang around with, like they have like a gay son who's a painter.
Yeah.
And he's like keeps sneaking up on this one guy and he's just like, do you want to play tummy sticks?
Oh,
And
wow.
that's what that's from.
What does it
Like,
mean, though? What
I
does
don't
it-
even fucking know what it is.
Oh, he's like
Quickly,
takes the painting back and he's like, "No, that's a gift. That was a gift." Best line in that whole movie.
So was it the films of John Waters and Frank Henenlotter and Troma? Was it that kind of stuff that first caught you?
Well, yeah, I mean, I grew up on that stuff. I grew up on
Yeah.
the video store. I had my video store education, of
Okay, yeah.
course.
Same thing
I mean,
with us,
I'm not
yeah.
even going to go into all the titles, but all the greats, as you
Yeah.
can imagine.
So you were from the video store shelves.
But yeah, John Waters just like had such an impression on me. George Romero, Night of the Living Dead,
Yeah.
Return of the Living Dead. Now I'm naming all the films I just said I wasn't going to name, but just everything.
yeah, it was
man.
that stuff. It wasn't like Superman or anything like that.
No, but I mean,
It
I
was
also love, like, art fair, too. I love this movie by Corey Maccabee. One of them just absolutely blows me away. I mean, this is really more for Romeo. He made a movie called The American Astronaut, which if you have not seen, it is ready for this? It is a sci-fi Western musical in black and white.
I'm sold on that already.
Yeah, I mean, he's
Sounds
like
like
trying
one
to
of our
remake.
pitches.
He's trying to remake Eraserhead, and it's like the greatest movie. It's what a gem, and it was just taken off of Hulu too. It's like impossible to see now.
Fuck,
but you
man.
should YouTube some of it when we get off this thing.
I'll check
Definitely.
it out.
But my origin story, if you will.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, much like it was like Batman. It was like Bruce Wayne when he's sitting, in like that first Batman comic.
Dude, I'm
he's
sorry
sitting
about
by
your
the
parents,
window.
bro. Her name was Martha.
Wait, what do you know about Martha? My mom's name is Martha. Oh my God, our mom's names are Martha. Did we just become best friends?
Is that a just version of Step Brothers? It's a darker version of Step Brothers?
Although I will say, when I saw that moment, I mean, as cheesy as it was, but in the moment, like when I'm watching that, it never had occurred to me that both the names were Martha.
Same.
So I was like,
Same.
whoa!
That is true. That's a connection.
I was like,
Nobody
what?
put it together.
So I mean, kudos to them for that. But so I'm sitting there. I was 18, aimless in life, working at Sam Goody in the Galleria.
Goody's got it.
And all my friends went away to college, and I was at community college, and I just living at home with mom and dad. And it was 2004, and the Clerks X box set had just come out, and I bought that along with the Dawn of the Dead box set with
We
the
got
4
it
versions.
the day it came out. Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
it was just I had to own them both, and I'm watching the documentary, The Snowball Effect, on there. I don't know if you've seen it.
Yep.
But that to me, halfway through watching that one night, it was just that night. It was like it must have been. It was in September 2004, and I just said, "Wait a minute, I want to do that. That's what I should do. That's what I should be doing. That's my thing." And from there, literally since that moment, I have been trying to make a feature-length film, and I finally, and I've done a couple of things. I toured with a band, and we shot a documentary. Went from Moscow to California. That was cool. I've been working on this project on the Misfits for a long time.
Cool.
But
awesome.
we'll talk about that later. But finally did it with Romeo. So
Fucking A, man.
Congratulations.
God bless you.
thank
Yeah.
you.
Now, if we could only just get out of the basement here and make one of our
I
pitches
think
into
we're
a movie.
contractually obligated
Gotta
to
do it.
Mr. Hollywood.
He's got his stable of trusted
Actually,
filmmakers.
do you guys sign contracts, or are you like me, where he's holding something over me?
Well, he ID tagged me.
You guys
Oh.
didn't. I got an RFID chip
In the back of your neck?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
It's better than one of those red tags. Have you guys watched Handmaid's Tale yet?
No.
Get one
no.
of those red tags on your ear. You don't want that.
No, but we have chips that if we leave the building unannounced or unapproved, it'll
explode?
it'll
Well,
blow our
hey,
heads up, yeah.
this actually kind of gives me an idea.
Well, if they're at the music festival. Well, before we go any further, Jeff, it's a good thing you're here.
Do the housekeeping.
You're a trusted filmmaker. You're proving yourself, and you're a huge.
Okay.
We can
Thank
tell
you.
you're just a huge geek and a huge fan of stuff.
I am.
nerd,
And
dork,
Absolutely.
geek.
Yes, please.
And just knowing you for a few minutes, we can tell that we can just bullshit for hours and hours and hours,
Yes.
which is a great thing because here on the Pitch a Movie podcast, Pete, Will, and myself, our job is to come up with movie pitches for our boss, Mr. Hollywood. We're in the basement of his building. He lives all the way at the top, and
Of course he does.
Our job is at the bottom of
tippy top.
this dank basement with spider crickets all over the place, and they throw us scraps once in a while for us to eat.
I really think you should run with this, though. Doing these impressions, though. We really should.
Hi, Mr. Hollywood. I'm the tippy top of
before
the
we get
that's
there,
good.
it's our job to come up with movie pitches that we have a whole week to come up with a movie pitch, right? And we have 7 days, and as usual, we wait until the last damn minute, the last damn hour of the week.
It's kind of like The Ring.
Yeah.
Like you have 7 days to
Yeah,
pitch.
right. So we're like in an hour, we're gonna fucking die in a horrific kind of
Although question,
spazzy way.
if you're on your cell phone while the Ring video is playing, does it still count? Like, you know how like if you're kind of like half watching it, like
Or is the
You're
medium
not really paying attention?
Does the DVD kill you?
Well, no, because aren't there scenes where like in the Ring franchise, like where it was just playing and they weren't really watching it, but it still happened?
I think the
maybe?
last one, Rings, is like that, where it's like
That
it's like an
movie
app
was
or
so
something.
bad.
I heard it was god awful.
so bad.
All right,
But
because
anyway.
of my OCD, Sean has to say.
sorry, go. Continue.
He has to say
Well,
soup to nuts, otherwise I
basically-
can't pitch.
Basically, right now we have to come up with a movie pitch from top to bottom, from soup to nuts. Did
Thank
my
you.
voice crack? Pete, you feel better? Okay.
Yeah.
So, Jeff, it's a good thing you're here because tell us you got something because we're completely unprepared. We're going in cold, dry,
Really?
not wet, no lube. What the hell? Do you have something? It sounds like what our initial conversation.
We need you to spitball on our dry pitch.
Basically, yeah, you got to wet it. You got to wet it with something, which is saliva or blood or something.
Fucking spit on
Let
us.
me just lubricate.
Spit in my mouth.
Before you
Let me
ram
just
it in.
lubricate the situation situation.
Yeah, please.
Or, affectionately baby bird these pitches into all of your mouths.
Oh, I see you're reading text. Okay.
Yeah, on the way here on the train, I took some of my thoughts
and put them into text form.
He
I
doesn't
take
even
this
work
very
here.
seriously.
You don't even work here, and you did more
We
work
dragged
than
you
us.
off the street, and you were prepared.
Yeah, I'm
more
like,
prepared than us.
I had to do it.
We put our Periscope out into the street, and we were like, "There's fucking Jeff Frumess. Get him in here."
Oh, look, he's wearing a brain damage shirt.
Get that guy!
Hey, dude, get in here. You got to fucking help us come up
Stop
with the
that
pitch.
man.
So, what do you got, man? It looks you got.
All right,
you're
all right.
prepared.
I have 4 pitches here.
Ooh,
okay?
yeah, okay.
They're very short, but I'm gonna just give you. So the first one is the FYRE Island pitch. It's called the FYRE Festival, which you were just reading about from Vice.
Yeah.
So I call this FYRE Island.
Ooh.
Like island.
FYRE.
FYRE Island.
Oh, is it like a reference to Cherry Grove and all those things?
No, there's like an actual island called FYRE Island.
Yeah, we've
been there, yeah.
FYRE Island.
Yeah, Fire Island, New
We're
York.
from Long Island. Yeah, we're from Long Island.
Yeah, right, exactly.
We live about a
it's
half
like
hour
right,
away.
Okay, yeah, it's like FYRE Island. So, but it's FYRE is spelled FYRE.
Oh my God!
Just like the
FYRE
festival.
Island.
Because that's how millennials would spell.
Yeah,
fire.
that's the name of the festival. So this is
Fiery.
Okay, ready for this?
So the
Fiery.
trailer voice would be like, "Fire."
So this picks up right after what you were saying. So like everybody's gotten to the festival. I mean, I'm not going to explain everything because you already said it at the beginning. They get to the festival. They realize they didn't get what they got. Right? Just a bunch of you have a various group of teenagers. Your teenagers.
This reminds me of. Sorry to cut you off, but you ever see the House of the Dead movie?
Yes.
This reminds me a lot of that.
That's the only movie I've ever walked out of. Actually,
Dude.
Is that
You
the
should have
Ooh-
stayed.
Is that the Ooh Ball?
Yeah.
movie? Yeah.
Yes,
I walked
it
out
is.
of that film.
You should have stayed. It's pretty great.
I actually walked
Okay,
out.
go on.
Back
sorry.
shows name dropping ooey ball.
Oh, that's right.
Is that how you pronounce his
Why?
name? Is it Ew or
Uwe.
Ooh?
It's U-Bowl.
It's Uwe Bowl.
No, it's like ew,
Yeah.
ew.
You know
wall.
what? Listen. Not to shit all over him, but at the same time, I do have tremendous respect for that dude, only because that dude just gets out there because everybody hates
No,
him
we
and
talked
hates his
about
films,
that.
But that dude just gets out there.
He makes
He's like,
movies,
"Fuck
man.
you! I'm gonna make." Oh, sorry. Can I curse?
Yes, you can.
Fuck
No,
you! I'm
no,
gonna make
don't
my
fucking curse,
movies, and I'm
please.
just gonna keep.
He made 3 movies back to. He made
Yeah.
movies. He made
He's a
Shoah.
juggernaut,
He
man.
made the Holocaust documentary in a concentration camp.
Did we just get a director?
He did like I think he did a Blood Rain movie, and I think he did
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Barbarella. Those
all
are
on the same
shot.
budget.
All in the same. No,
Shared budget.
it's true. That's 100% true.
Is that really true?
That is 100% true.
So that's my point. Is that
He's an
that
average.
dude is just
3
like he
fucking
just
movies.
He's like, I need to make movies. And everybody doesn't want me to make movies, but fuck all of you. I'm going to make movies no matter what.
love
Fuck
it.
you.
He's
Love
actually
it,
a
you know?
really genuinely articulate person as well,
Yeah.
like in his interviews and stuff. And like you could see that he's just like, I just love movies. I want to make
Yeah.
movies.
Despite his name, ew ball.
And he
Ew.
boxes his critics.
Ew,
which
it's
is
a ball.
amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's yes.
Okay, go on. Sorry to
Okay,
cut you
continue.
off. There.
No, it's all right.
So these people
All
arrive.
right, so
at this-
everybody's there's rabid. There's rogue dogs like chewing up the tents.
Awesome.
A big shipping crate with all of their luggage comes, and this is a true fact that you didn't read.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
They were
That's right.
throwing
They throw it
people's
all-
random bags into a crowd because they're like, "Oh, we gotta get all these bags out."
Oh my god!
Tossing these bags.
These are all well-to-do,
and these are like super
millennial.
designers.
They are
Yes.
so out of their
Elite.
element. They have
They're-
no idea what's
they're-
going on.
They're elite.
They're Louis
Quotes.
Vuitton bags just getting tossed
Right.
into the water.
People are getting robbed left and right. There's no lock. You were supposed to bring your own lock for your storage lockers or whatever. So
They
there's
didn't
like,
say that.
So this is mayhem.
The
right?
locals too, because a lot of people were getting
Yes.
assaulted by the local.
Yes, they're getting into like
community.
fights and stuff too, and just like all sorts of crazy
Awesome.
stuff. So this place is literally like a Lord of the Flies. So we have a Lord of the Flies situation.
yeah.
developing.
Awesome.
Somebody.
I was going to say Lord of the Flies meets Most Dangerous Game. Would
Well, yeah,
be,
well,
like,
well,
Wait,
because
they're
it-
gonna kill
that
each
movie.
other?
Well, they have to build a society, but these are like super these are super wealthy millennial kids.
Right.
Like,
so what
these
if it
are-
was a guy?
And they're vying for leadership too. There's two.
Yeah.
There's two camps. You have one guy, and he wants to be the leader, and there's another guy who wants to be the leader. And
But it
they're
only
going
takes
back and
place
forth.
over 3 days.
We're still on Friday. We're just on Friday, right?
It escalated quickly.
Okay.
I would think that this kind of concept would work if like they thought all these people thought they were going to like a fucking festival, like a music
Coachella,
festival,
yeah.
like a Coachella on a remote island, and it turns out. Well, I have two concepts here that might work. One of the islands has dinosaurs on them, and then the other island is they weren't told. It's like an offshoot of Jurassic Park, like an unofficial sequel.
So they're doing.
What about the island of Dr. Moreau?
Well, that's the other thing. Is like some creatures on the island, or if it's an island that's a hunting island and they're hunting rich people.
Okay.
I
I like
add-
that. I like that.
Yeah.
a
Can,
lot.
we add, can I add to that? Can we have Island of Dr. Monroe, starring Jim J. Bullock from Monroe.
Yes.
What listener got that reference? Oh my god.
Sean did. Jeff did not.
I did not. I'm literally going along with it so I don't sound like a fool.
80s sitcom.
As president of the Jim J. Bullock fan club, I get that. Sorry,
Mr. Rush.
So I love this fucking idea.
Wait.
Rules, but
There's one more thing.
Finish, and then you said you had other possibilities.
Yes, I'll cap this off real quick.
Yeah.
Ready for this?
Go. I'm ready.
So the other part of that article is that some people it's back and forth, but some people are back on a plane, but at the Bahamas trying to get home because they've canceled the festival. So they need an airplane pilot to pilot us out of the place. Who is that airplane pilot? I'm so sorry.
Harrison Ford.
No, it's motherfucking Nicolas Cage.
Oh shit!
It has to be.
All for having another.
Sorry, I know you just had him on the
here.
episode.
Welcome
but I mean,
to
come on, it's Nicolas Cage.
Cage It movie podcast.
And he reunited with Werner Herzog from Bad Lieutenant Port Authority to direct this movie. So
I'm into this. There has to be a few dog whistles that we kind of need. There needs to be a shark attack scene.
Of course.
Where kids are trying to escape the island. And
Nicolas Cage is punching a shark in the face.
But I was gonna say, remember in Jaws? Was it Jaws 3? Like someone gets I forget. It's like someone gets attacked and you think they're dead, and then they miraculously come back at the end to save everybody.
That's Jaws.
Jaws 4. Okay.
Yeah.
That needs to happen
Mario
with Nicolas
Van
Cage.
Peebles.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Van Peebles.
Well, he gets his face ripped off.
Yeah.
You know, like in Face Off.
Is that what happened? Yeah.
No, I'm just saying he gets his face ripped off in the movie, and so there's this faceless guy who's rescuing a faceless
saving people
pilot.
with no face.
And then all of a sudden he puts his face back on at the end. Like, oh, it was you, Nick Cage.
Who are you? It's me.
It's just a
Took his
flap.
face.
It's just a flap hanging around his
All right.
neck.
What are your other ideas?
Okay. Ready? I'm going to do these ones quickly.
It's going to be tough to beat this one.
All right. Well, so I just watched all of Phantasm for the first time.
Oh,
ever.
yeah. We were talking about this.
And I first of all, I just want to quickly shout out the little kid from Part 3 because he is Carl from The Walking Dead. That little kid ruled.
Right? Yeah,
he ruled.
Yeah,
I was
he's
like,
good. He's
why? Good. Like, why couldn't they have made The Walking Dead in the '90s with this little kid?
Yeah, because like that is Phantasm 3. It's kind
the
of
best one.
When
You're right. It's the best one.
When you're a fan of the series, that is probably like the most surprising one because it's so funny. It's action packed. It's
nunchucks.
It's really
Rocky.
surprising. Yeah. But the you're right. The kid. Like, it's so rare that they make a movie where the kid rules. The kid is fucking awesome.
Rules in that movie.
Because usually you're just, like, irritated by the fucking kid actor.
Right.
This kid actor is great. He's like fucking, like, Kevin McAllister.
He's super mature.
Fucking
Yeah,
Carl.
yes.
Like,
he's
you fucking,
Kevin McAllister,
and he's
too.
a real hero. He's like a hero of the movie.
He is the hero of the movie. And so, you know, I've also discovered, you know, I've seen Reggie now, like all of Reggie Bannister's, you know, shtick. Awesome. And it's like, you know, and I love, and this series is great. Yeah. So I'm thinking, and I could talk endlessly about it, but to stay on topic. All right, ready for this?
Is this what we talked about a little bit?
No.
Okay, go on.
Well, yeah, I mean, yes, there's a little bit of the crossover.
Okay.
Ready for this? But I added to it too.
Okay, go.
All right, this is going to melt your brains.
It's
ready?
a Phantasm crossover.
It is.
It's good.
It is. Ready? Okay. So, Herbert West, in an effort to finally bring back the dead, because every time he reanimates somebody, they have no brain, they go crazy, realizes that he needs another component, the Necronomicon, to put a soul into his reanimated bodies with his reagent, steals the book from Ash.
Okay.
And teams up with the tall man who needs the Necronomicon in order to further whatever, because that was the thing. I'm watching these movies for the first time.
So this is a triple crossover?
This is a triple crossover. And it's like, what the fuck was Tall Man's purpose in the whole series? I'm like, what is going on?
It was kind of a lame. He was like basically Tall Man was like a businessman who would steal corpses.
He's deaf though. He's from another dimension.
He's not,
because he's from the 1800s and he builds the dimension in the first place. He
is Jebediah Morningside. He took the form of Jebediah Morningside, basically.
Okay.
But he's this interdimensional creature.
He's like a Pennywise.
Like, he was a shape-shifting kind of formless creature who took the form of Jebediah Morningside.
I must have missed that then.
Well, you got to watch part 4.
I did.
You did watch part 4, right? Okay. Yeah.
Again, it was like, and part 5 was even more incoherent than. I was just like, what is going on?
It just gets more confusing and better as it goes on.
But it's got heart, and you love it. You love it because you love the characters, and it was fun. It's good. It's good fun.
Yo, anytime the ball is back, I'm there. So.
Yeah, me too. You love the balls.
I love the balls.
Especially at the end of part 5 when Rocky, who was absent for all of part 4, isn't in part 5, and then just randomly the dwarf comes through the gate and Rocky's there, and she's like, "Oh hey, what's up?"
Yeah. It's
I was like, okay.
it's such a flawed series, but it works almost better because it makes the whole thing weirder.
Yes.
Anyway,
so that's my pitch. So it's like you gotta, and then I would need you guys to help me out a little bit more, like flesh out some of the logic there. Why? So Herbert, we got the Herbert West part,
right?
And then it's like Herbert West. You're right. And he teams up with the tall man who promises Herbert West the answers to what he's looking for in the meaning of life and death. And really,
as much as I like a triple crossover, because I am an Allen Iverson fan.
Yes.
That's a basketball reference. We did have our last episode.
We just did a crossover.
Yeah, it was a crossover.
This is something to revisit.
but it's very cool concept.
You are more than welcome to come back.
And I do want to let you know that
and pitch that.
Ash has fought Herbert West.
Yes, I know in the comic book,
comics,
Dynamite comic book. So I mean, listen, I admit that did bleed in a little bit.
So there is precedent, and I think Mr. Hollywood would throw money at us for something that already
That's good to know.
has an existing
Maybe
property.
as an animated movie.
But I think we were really excited about this Fire Island.
Fire
pitch.
Island rules so far
because it is relevant. It is relevant in the news, and we could run with it because we do have like 30 minutes left before we have to meet with Mr. Hollywood.
Let's
I'm
go
gonna
for
put
it.
We need an Act 1, Act 2, Act 3, and we also need actors.
Yeah, let's
actresses.
go with let's go with Fire Island, definitely.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Oh wait,
Let us begin.
Sean.
Oh, here. Thank you. Just as we were about to get back into the pitch.
Whoa.
About to get on the rails.
Who is that lady?
That was Mr.
that was Keith.
But she
had the sexiest Adam apple I've ever seen.
Yeah, not completely done with the transition yet, but she's on her way.
That is
Okay.
Mr. Hollywood's secretary.
Yeah.
Oh, Mr. Hollywood Jr. Sorry, Mr. Hollywood HJ's.
HJ.
And HJ is trying to get his hands in the movie pitching business and learn the trade from his father.
Right.
So he's been throwing us studio notes, which kind of like sucks for us because like as you are experiencing right now, we're really into the motion of pitching, and all of a sudden, burp, it's
Studio note.
Yeah, studio.
Here we go.
So what is that note?
This note from the top,
Ew.
and it seems like it's a product placement,
Oh, no.
which is typical in movies. You see it all the time.
Here we
But
go.
we have to make it work in the narrative.
Yuck.
And the product is Johnny Walker Red.
Oh,
that fits fine in our
super
so
easy. They're
this is-
sponsoring the event.
Yeah.
There you go. This works.
What did it say? Johnny
perfectly.
Walker Red what?
Product placement. So we just
That's
have to
easy.
put Johnny Walker
easy.
Red
Or
product.
really
how
getting
about this?
concerned here with the
Wait a
genericness
minute.
of these last.
Well, hold on. So
studio
let's
notes.
make it not generic at all. So, for instance, you said Johnny Walker Red.
So
but
it's a
maybe
person.
I don't. Yeah, maybe it's a guy.
Freddie Prinze Jr.
Maybe
star
he, like the
plays
Men in
Johnny
Black.
Walker Red.
Yeah, maybe like the Men in Black. There is this guy named Johnny Walker. He wears a red tuxedo and he walks through the jungle of Bahamas.
Take it more riddle, like a.
It's like David Lynch. He like only talks backwards, and he like helps Nicolas
Yeah?
Cage. He gives Nicolas Cage
Maybe
advice.
because we do need to both building off your idea. Maybe people both. No, both. People think that the Johnny Walker Red it's like a what do you call it? It's a misdirection. We're like sponsored by Johnny Walker Red. So all these millennials are there to get drunk, get wasted.
Yeah.
And there's a dude walking in the forest. He's got a red. He's just like Johnny Walker.
And they were looking for the
Is he like,
whiskey the whole time.
is he-
but
Yeah,
they're
they
looking for
realized-
whiskey.
They realized that it's
Is
not.
Johnny? Is this mystery man in the wood, like in the wilderness?
It's Ja Rule.
I was gonna say, is he like Jack Shepard's father from Lost?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's in a shack and
Yeah.
he's just like a fucking figment.
He's a shaman of the island.
yeah, that's exactly
And
what it is.
it turns out it's just like it has to be a random white guy.
But his
It's-
house-
he flew. Well, he flew all the kids out there in the first place because he needed a bunch of sacrifices or
Yes,
something.
yes,
He needed,
yes.
You know what I
yes.
mean? That's what this was
the
all about.
island is really built on a volcano.
we're gonna go to the fucking. We're gonna do the
Lost.
the old
No,
Brady
it's-
Bunch movie
it's
thing. Or
like
something?
they need to
The tiki
sacrifice
god?
to their island gods.
Well, they are in the Bahamas, right? So
Right.
what's the
Who's playing Johnny Walker?
I don't know,
I got one,
but
I
it's
got
gotta
one, I
be.
got one. Hold
It's
on.
got to be the guy from Tennessee, and he's got.
It's
Sorry.
Let's cast it, then let's work
John
on the
Slattery,
story.
because I just pissed next to him last week.
okay,
It's going to
okay.
be John
Let me see
Slattery
a
from
picture
Mad
of
Men,
him.
the Silver Fox.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, the
Yeah,
Silver
yeah.
Fox.
You pissed
That's
next
great.
to him?
I pissed next to him.
Was he
watching
nice?
Great.
when I went to go see Colossal.
This story would be better if you pissed on him, but whatever. sorry.
He looked at me like a John Slattery, like what
like
the
he
fuck?
wanted.
Let me
to
just
piss
tell
on
you
him.
real quick, like side note. I
Roger Sterling.
I peed next to Ken Foray, and I was like, "Yo,
Did you
you
get a
were
glimpse?
you dude,
Oh
you
my
were great
God.
on Kenan and Kel," and he was like, "Yo, thanks, bro," and then he shook my hand after he was like, didn't watch
That's
us,
amazing.
and I was just like,
Don't wash that hand.
And I never watched it.
Yeah, good.
Never fucking watched it. He was such a cool guy. Because like I was
so
like, dude, I
awesome.
loved you on Kenan and Kel. I think he expected me to say like some movie he was
Wait,
in.
so,
I was like,
so you were at the urinal and he just reached over it while he was holding his dick and shook your
he
hand.
was done and I was still peeing, but I was like, you know.
And he didn't wash his hand first.
Nope,
He just-
neither of us.
What?
It was kind of like we
That's
exchanged
amazing.
DNA.
What if you were quiet? What if you were both quiet peeing, and then all of a sudden you started going, dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Do you think he would have completed? Do you think he would have been cool enough to go dun 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 dun?
I don't know.
You're doing the music from Dawn of the
Yes,
Dead.
I am.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
I don't know.
Will's only seen.
I
Kenan and
expected
Kel.
everybody to
No,
know what I
I've
was.
seen Dawn of the Dead. I know what kind of music he is. All right.
All right, I know.
Okay, I
Goblin.
get it.
I know you're a huge fan. We are all huge fans.
Okay,
but
I
this is
was.
great.
Very
Okay.
cool story, though. Very cool story.
So we follow this group of millennial these kind of trust fundy, well-to-do.
Bella Thorne.
Well, I think it's kind of. We're
Born
definitely
again.
going to have like this
Bella
green.
Thorne,
Roberts.
definitely.
I do
Emma
want to
Roberts
say
has to
there
be
Yes,
one of those.
Emma Roberts.
There is a
Again?
similarity here between that and Green Inferno, so like you do have to like
Okay.
be very
Oh,
careful.
boy.
But I do like.
So what does that mean? No cannibalism? That's my favorite part.
No, that can happen. There needs to just be some
Okay.
sort of other
Green
element
Inferno
to it.
without cannibalism.
Okay, we have Nicolas Cage. He is an element. He is elemental.
Yeah.
Nicolas Cage.
And that's fine. Maybe
Okay.
maybe he's the chosen one that comes to the island to save everybody, like an Ash character.
But he doesn't know he's the chosen one.
I'm into
Yeah.
that. That's kind of
And
cool.
at the beginning, you have some exposition where he's like about to take off as an airplane pilot. He's like, "Oh, hey, cool tattoo." He's like, "Oh no, that's not a tattoo. I was born with that mark." I don't know what it means.
It's part of a map or something.
It's the fucking yes. It's
the
the rest
island.
of the hieroglyphics.
So our lead,
At the end, he goes like this. He's like, "Whoa."
our lead girl, like has the other part of the map on her arm, like Waterworld or something.
Yeah.
The cool thing is like, all right, so Green Inferno was definitely like a satirization of college campus culture and the people that virtue signal.
Yeah,
It's
the
like,
social
because
justice
the whole
warriors.
point of
Yeah,
them
yeah.
going to that island wasn't really to like going to that place wasn't to save that
It was
culture.
to Instagram the whole
It was like,
thing,
look
right?
what we've
It's-
done.
yeah,
We're
right.
white people and we have money
That's
and we
what-
can do this.
That's what our
Ooh.
heroes should be. They should be going there for like photo ops. Like
They're going there for
photo
Instagram.
ops.
That's what they
Yeah.
called in that article. They say
Yeah.
it's Instagram ready or something. Like meaning that you just throw up your camera and it's like, look at me, I'm
Yeah.
Instagramming something. really
But they didn't
cool.
provide Wi-Fi at the place. So like, they get there and they realize that it's
that's the
fucking-
first disaster is that there's no Wi-Fi. That's what started. You
Right.
said,
Everyone
you said,
loses
there's
their
only-
fucking mind.
Yeah, you said,
Yeah.
how could everybody lose their mind in 3 days? The answer to
So
the question is in the
there's-
first hour they find out there's no Wi-Fi
There's no
and they go
4G
crazy.
There's
Forget
nothing.
the 3 days. Within the first hour,
Yeah.
they were all eating each other because there was no Wi-Fi. They didn't know what to eat.
It's got to escalate very quickly, and I think Nick Cage should start off as like the fucking like the mercenary, like the captain. He's
Yeah.
there in a kind of a hut, and he's away from society.
He's trying to get back
and
to his
he's-
daughter too and his wife. He wants to just get back to them. They're on the main line.
I got another hook, Pete. Well, hold on one sec. I know you got a good idea, and this might be the idea that because
He's grabbing the table
It's
very.
not. It's definitely not.
Basically, I think what a motivation could be is for some reason these people were brought to this island, right? They were the only ones that made it, like this handful of kids, because of the
Yeah,
disaster.
the rest of them got stopped.
There
Yeah,
has
the
to
rest
be
of
a-
them got left behind, and something happens to the rest of the world while these people are at this island. For some reason,
that's
they were
good.
saved.
That's
That's
cool.
good.
I like that.
Okay,
I
but we
like
don't
that.
know until later.
The Rapture.
Something like that, yeah, because they're like, you want to go back to society?
There was a
is
Nicolas
no
Cage.
more.
There was a Nicolas Cage movie where
almost
he's
like
in
a-
the Rapture.
gone.
I know.
thing.
That's
Left
fucking
Behind.
ridiculous.
Left
No Way
Behind
Behind.
movie
Left
with
Behind.
Nicolas
Left
Cage.
Behind,
Right.
which is
Right.
that a remake of the Kirk?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
It is.
With
That
Nicolas
is the
Cage.
grossest thing I've ever heard.
With Nicolas
Fucking-
Cage.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
If you thought
That's a good idea. That's a good.
okay, but
that's
you
a
had
good.
something.
That's a good maybe end of second act.
So it's like
Yeah.
a cabin in
It's
the
like-
woodsy
it's-
kind of thing,
It's like
maybe?
Langoliers or something. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like they were.
Oh, no
Langoliers.
shit.
They were
That's-
saved.
Langoliers.
This is like a Stephen King's Fire Island.
Wait a
It is.
minute.
Which
Hold
is-
on.
Oh my God! Stephen King wrote the screenplay to this. I forgot to mention that.
Oh,
he
okay.
wrote the screenplay.
Perfect.
Herzog's directing, starring Nicolas
Let's
Cage.
go in order because I've
Stephen
been waiting.
King's
Go, go.
Fire Island.
All right. Pete's got the floor. Let's get on
And
the
then
rails.
Will.
Sorry, go
Oh,
ahead.
and
Well.
it's in Castle Rock somewhere near
I'll be
Castle Rock.
duh.
Okay.
So,
Go, Pete.
because these are rich millennials and these are like the Ja Rule thing, these guys paid to like go to these things because they expect the best.
Yeah.
I'm proposing that Nicolas Cage plays Nicolas Cage because he
Again?
does,
Oh
he
my
does
God.
everything for a paycheck.
Oh my
Oh,
God!
he's
Check
there.
this out.
He's
He
a
was
paycheck.
hired by the festival to
be the talent.
And he just wants to get back to his son Kal-El, whose son's name is Kal-El.
But he's so like the whole time he's like, I can't believe I'm doing this.
Yes, exactly.
He's a reluctant hero.
So basically,
Fucking love that.
Who's Nicolas Cage?
So they thought of because of the mass appeal of Nicolas Cage to millennials, they thought it was good.
Ironic.
Ironic. It's an ironic.
All right, so here's a suggestion
was
where
a
I think we
great
should take it working off Sean's idea. I think that we should make this island like they go through like an interdimension.
The island moved?
No,
from the triangle.
Sounds familiar.
I'm thinking like King Kong style. Like this island doesn't really exist at all, and the reason why they can't get in touch with the outside world is because there is no more outside world. You are in it's an isolated island.
much.
Now,
it's a different dimension.
Why were this?
Because it's hell, Sean.
Let's. Oh, okay. Well, let's discuss why this group of like a dozen kids were saved.
They weren't.
Because Johnny Walker Red is going to sacrifice them to the.
They needed. It's a sacrifice to end the world. To get into our world, they need to maybe get enough blood to lift the veil.
Oh, like a cabin in the woods.
Oh, okay.
And the thing is, and Christopher Walken has to be there too.
Christopher Walken Red?
He plays.
Oh, that's Christopher Walken.
Johnny.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh my God! Wait a minute.
Maybe he should be Johnny Walker
Wait a
Red?
minute. He is Johnny Walker Red. I think we have a recast here.
Oh, no, Slattery.
I mean,
Walken would be like old enough.
We had
to
Walken. We just had Walken in. Well, I guess it doesn't matter.
Yeah, okay.
We had Walken in Creature.
Yeah.
If you don't remember, we had Walken.
Black Lagoon.
Creature
Oh, right. Yeah.
However, we are doing another
Cage.
movie with Cage, and you know what?
But we're all Cage super fans here.
Our third Cage movie.
It is, but shit, man, he needs the work.
And there has to be a moment where Nicolas Cage does what he does in the Wicker Man remake, where he just starts like
punching women.
Yeah, he just drop kicks a woman into a wall
as Nicolas Cage.
Also, that's the other thing is like he's been in this scenario before because it's actually happened to him in Wicker Man.
Oh, can he like get out of scenarios by referencing the movies he's been in?
Yes, it has to be very meta for him.
This reminds me of the time that I was.
Wait, I've been here before. I mean, no, I haven't, but I've experienced
I could fly this plane. I flew a jailbird once.
That's right. Yeah.
The end of the movie is him flying the airplane into
Vegas?
into the cult members like mansion and shit, like recreating the scenes.
So
of the
he's
movies he's in.
He's got to try to do the things that he was a pro at in the movies, but fail every time.
Right. That's his character struggle.
Pretty much. Yeah.
To realize
the man can't live up to the characters that he is.
Right. Yeah.
But he tries.
All right, so we need a first act, we need a second act, and we need our third.
Well, I think we got our first because they arrive there. They realize that it's just basically
there's no Wi-Fi.
Yeah, they're just basically
crazy.
They're dropped into the middle of this.
All right, we need some rappers on this island who are there as well.
Busta Rhymes,
Fetty Wap. Is that a thing?
I was gonna say, Seal.
Seal
does not rap.
He's not a rapper.
He's not a rapper.
Sorry.
Do you know who Seal is?
MC Seal.
But here's the thing about Seal. If Seal is on this island, then he will break the fourth wall and directly sing to the audience, "Kissed by a Rose." If he does not, then I don't want him in this movie. All right?
I feel like we've done that.
We've definitely.
I think we did.
The Sump. Yeah. The Sump was Seal.
Yeah, that's right.
Baby Seal was our studio
all right.
note.
Yeah.
Ludacris. Ludacris is in this movie.
Ludacris.
All right, fine.
Ludacris.
Agreed.
Ludacris and Ja Rule together again.
No Ja Rule.
Were they together?
That's
No,
too
they
meta.
weren't, but you know.
Or perhaps it's DMX and his cat counterpart that meows.
MC Meowmix. That's his DJ.
He's a skinwalker. He
Yeah,
changes
No,
shape.
it's just like DMX goes ar ar ar, and then whoever the other rapper is just like meow meow meow.
All right, so we gotta find. All right, who else is in this movie? We got Nick Cage.
Yeah.
We got Ludacris.
I think we need our starlets. Our
Yeah,
hero.
but we also need we need
Emma Roberts.
We need
Emma
red.
Roberts.
We need red shirts because we need a body count on this.
Yeah,
island.
well,
Tons of those.
I would say that we need like two main kind of or three or so main protagonists that we're going to follow.
Emma Roberts and Dave Franco. Nerve.
Emma Roberts, sure. but
Emma Roberts.
Don't we have anybody else?
I don't know.
Bella
Think
Thorne,
about
man.
this.
She's like the next
Jesus. About.
She's an entrepreneur.
All right, I'll tell you what. I'm gonna just throw this to the wind right
ahead,
now.
throw it in
How
there.
about, since he's not in any movies, but he's totally awesome, even though he's a little bit older. Maybe he's too old to play.
Jonah Hill.
How about? I was gonna say
he's like what 60 now.
Keenan from
Kenan Thompson?
Yeah,
I hate
Yeah,
that
as like
guy.
a comic relief. He's like maybe he's like one of the only security guys there. That's like
Okay, yeah, I mean,
you know what I mean.
We could
Like,
fill it out with like
no,
like,
he's not a millennial teen. Definitely not. But
no,
he's
but
like,
he could be like one
he's
of
comic
the,
relief or something. He's
or
in
he-
the background. Maybe he does die.
or he
Maybe
could be
he's-
one of the organizers who
Zac
realized
Efron.
he got screwed too.
Yes.
I'm thinking we got to have Zac Efron in here too.
Oh no.
Oh no! Why? Because we saw him on that billboard on the way
Yeah,
here.
and he looked good.
He did look
He
good.
looked fucking chiseled.
So we're looking for
Fucking
young.
rewatch.
We're looking for hot young talent. I'm just not.
Well, that's the
with it
thing.
these days.
I know we're not really. You know,
Jeez,
it's like,
this is a problem. Selena Gomez.
No, you gotta go.
maybe?
Yeah, Selena go. Oh, you get the girls from Spring Breakers.
Yeah,
Sure.
that could
A
work.
bunch of
Put
them.
them in
Vanessa
there.
Hudgens.
and they all have to be in what they're wearing, like their
Spring
bathing
breakers.
suits and without
Yes.
shirts. Everybody,
Obviously.
You just gotta-
because
you just
their
gotta go to,
luggage
like,
got
They
it.
get on the airplane in bathing suits. That's
Well,
like
yeah,
that's like they're
You get the
always, that's
girl-
all they have.
You get actors from like
Yeah.
Nickelodeon TV shows and
What
Disney
about
Channel.
Shia LaBeouf? Maybe.
Dude, did you see-
35-year-old Shia LaBeouf.
Did you see the
I'm
dude
actually
from
I love that idea.
the dude from
35-year-old Shia LaBeouf.
the guy
Yeah.
from Teen Beach Movies playing Jeffrey Dahmer? You see that?
No.
Fucking A, man.
Let's
I
get
forgot-
him.
the
Let's
guy
There's a
from-
mini series or something. that's
Yeah. Did
happening,
you ever
right?
see Teen Beach Movie?
No.
Please say
but
no.
I heard
Okay,
that
good.
there's a-
Let's get that girl. That girl's good.
Well, can
She's
we
good.
just say? I mean,
both
listen,
girls.
Yeah,
For
they're good.
argument's
Yeah.
sake, can we just say that like let's just take the cream of the crop from
Yeah.
like some because we need that for this
Disney
movie.
or Nick.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so I'm just
yeah.
we're metaphorically plucking a bunch of
Fine. We don't have
There
to
you
say
go.
their names, but
Yeah,
we know.
cast
Cast
know
of Girl
the
Meets World.
Cast of girls, cast of guys,
Sure.
got
Yeah.
them. That's off the side. Now let's move on to something that's more. I don't know what else. You tell me. What else is?
I would like Will Friedle in this movie.
I think
who?
Will Friedle.
45 Will Friedle. He's talking about. 45-year-old Will
Oh,
Friedle. The oldest
Yeah.
brother.
Eric-
Boy Meets
Eric
World.
Matthews.
yeah. So he plays a steward. He plays
Oh.
a steward on the airplane.
Yes.
Who's trying to? He's a
Why?
tightwad, and he's trying to keep everybody in line.
maybe he's the pilot.
We're giving him the
No,
first
Nicolas
his
Cage
first
is the
job in
pilot.
10
He's the pilot
years.
from the-
He's
No,
No,
also-
wait. Nick Cage isn't the pilot. He's
No,
the
but he-
he's the wait.
Oh, right, yeah,
we
you're
got
right, he is-
we got to get our story straight.
He's
No,
entertainment.
you're right. He's entertainment now. Damn it.
The pilot that flies them in, and he's got to die there.
It's Will Friedle.
Fine. Was he the older brother in?
Yeah,
Boy
fine,
Meets
that
World?
works.
Will
That
Friedle
works.
is.
I thought it was Friedle.
Oh, the guy was like Feeny.
Will
That
Friedle.
guy.
Yeah, he
The guy was
plays
like-
he plays Terry McGinnis on
Batman
and Beyond.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We should get Willie Ames.
I know, right?
This is where you guys are casting from. Let's get Scott Bay and Willie Ames. They're hot right now.
This Boy Meets World.
Because when I was 10, they were awesome.
You know, it's funny. I like to pride myself on knowing so much stuff, but I just want to. I'm realizing right now I just don't have. I'm drawing blanks here.
Well, when you're
Greg
put on the
Brady
spot, like,
is hot right now. The oldest brother from the Brady bunch.
you and Will are probably the youngest here because we're like from the fucking 70s.
Did you guys ever watch Leave It to Beaver?
oh yeah,
Do you guys remember?
Wally is so hot right
Do you
now.
remember Beta tapes? Sean and Pete remember Beta tapes.
You wanted to cast my girl in a fucking teen movie
All right,
like 2
fine.
weeks
How
ago.
about hey? How
Dude,
about
she was in.
She was a teenager 20 years ago.
Anna Pumsky
No,
or whatever?
Yeah,
but she was in Blood Car, and she was awesome in Blood Car.
But Blood Car was
All
like
right, what
12
about-
years ago.
What
I know.
about Robbie Butnick from Salute Your Shorts?
we haven't done
There's your
anything with anybody
millennial.
from Salute Your Shorts.
There you go. He's this is his comeback movie.
All right, but I think to just blanket the movie with those kids that we can't really name off
just
right now.
your generic
Yeah.
fodder
Fine.
to be killed,
Yeah.
and maybe one of them survives.
And
okay?
I think they have to vie for leadership on the island, but also fight the elements like the dogs
Yes.
and the boars and
oh,
shit.
Aaron
you know?
Paul. Aaron Paul from Breaking Bad should be. Well, maybe he's too old.
He's
now.
old.
God,
The guy's
he was
fucking like
Jesse
40 years.
Pinkman was
I
like
know.
a young guy.
12 years ago.
What the hell?
Time
What
flies,
the
man.
hell?
Time
That's the
fucking
problem
flies.
with getting older. You're like,
All right, well, I suggest
why can't I
that
be 18
Aaron
and know?
Paul and the guy who played Will Graham from Hannibal should be like maybe they're like the
They're in the path
executives or
together.
something. They're that's right. I need to watch that show. Is that any good? See that movie? See it?
Boring.
No. Well,
Cults, I don't know.
handmade.
I think we have.
show.
I think
I'll
we
check
have
that
our main people kind
Okay,
of locked.
so we
in.
feel good about that.
I'm fine with this. But let's
Did we
get to
pick a
the
director? Did we say
Werner Herzog. Yeah, he's got.
I said
Werner
I'm throwing down for Werner Herzog and
That's
Nicolas
crazy.
Cage
Well,
team up again.
I
Sounds
think it's
crazy.
I think it's perfect because if you see Rescue Dawn, we got kind of the element of Rescue
true,
Dawn.
very
That
true.
was called Rescue Dog.
Oh, there's that too. Yeah,
Werner Herzog's Rescue Dog?
No,
but he would make a movie like that. The dogs, they're
dogs.
naturally able to rescue.
the dog dreams of being
situations.
The
rescued.
man
Every
is
time
in peril.
anytime anyone talks about like Werner Herzog, he's like the David Attenborough of movies for some reason.
Well, it's
I mean,
The
that
thick
voice,
European
man.
Richard Attenborough?
Isn't it weird
He
that
is, yes,
Richard
that's the way to
Attenborough.
put it.
Isn't
That's
it
the way to
weird
put
that
it.
like within the past decade he became this like cultural thing?
Yeah,
like,
That's
cult of
crazy to me.
personality.
yeah, because he's in like
Yes.
Parks and
Can
Rec.
we
he's
have
just spoofing himself.
living color perform at a... Living Colors performing at FYRE Island Festival.
Wow.
Well, no, they wouldn't.
But they
because
would do it. They would do it.
You would want artists that these these 21-year-old
Oh no,
kids.
it's all like EMD.
Yeah, it's all that.
EDM.
It's all EDM.
Yeah.
It's all EDM.
EDM.
It's all
It's
EDM like that.
Danger Mouse and
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Skrillex.
Skrillex.
Yeah, they were all
There. Zac Efron is
DJ
actually
AM.
there.
Maybe we should we should ask some of
DJ
those
AM?
celebrity musicians to be in it just as a body count. Like, hey,
Well,
Skrillex, do you want to die?
Please,
I think they
let's
should-
kill Skrillex.
I think they should see them, and they should be the first victims because they're like, we came here because of you, and you're not fucking playing. So they kind of sacrifice them first. Or something.
Yeah.
So the first act, they get to the island. They're all being like bitchy, whiny, like young people,
Right.
And little weird things start to happen, like the Wi-Fi. But like it's like something that sounds
first
normal.
it starts like this. They're just
sounds normal.
They're
trying to
texting
Instagram, and they're
Yeah,
just
they go. All right, well, let's take our first Instagram photo, and they're
And
like,
they
"Hey,
can't
wait,
share anything.
Hey, what's Does anybody know the Wi-Fi password?" They start walking around. Hey,
Yeah.
do you know the Wi-Fi password? Nobody knows the Wi-Fi.
and this is where our
password.
creepy music kind of comes
Yeah.
in, and it, like
Guys,
gets
something
dread.
weird has to happen on this island.
Sense
Like,
of dread.
It's got to be
starts.
EDM creepy music.
something. As soon as it gets dark on the island, it just stays dark. There is no sunlight.
Oh, are you gonna do like a Blair Witch like time hopping thing?
Not time hopping.
Yeah?
It's just like I feel like if they're in a different dimension, that like when you'd get there and you weren't able to like get access to internet or
Yeah, okay,
anything.
yeah.
And it like as a reaction to that, like
It's
this
like-
place should have like
It's
aurora
like the upside
borealis
down,
all
man.
over it.
It's
and
like
stuff.
Stranger Things, the upside down world. You know, it's like they're
Yeah.
kind of in the upside down.
What if the Earth suddenly changes its axis, and then they're kind of like on a different polar?
Pretty
plane?
much.
and they're
I
all
mean,
in
that's-
bathing
yeah.
suits, and they're
Well,
like
it doesn't matter.
They're
They're in a
complaining about their
They're
tans.
in a different
Yeah.
dimension. So
Are
it
they
doesn't
really?
matter. Yeah.
Okay, we got to figure this part out because I think this is the big missing element.
I mean,
is-
it's night for like 40 days. That's the problem.
Like
This is-
when you remember watching Langoliers, which
Yeah.
is like kind of like where I'm thinking about like the dimensional gap. They fly into a different dimension in the Langoliers.
Well, they go into
Right, yeah,
Oh,
there's
yeah,
no-
let's
they-
not,
and
let's
they're-
not forget this is Stephen King,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
Well, they
Yeah,
go,
I mean, there's no carbonation in any of their drinks.
right. Well,
either.
they're
The Diet Coke.
8 minutes in the past, right? That's the big tragedy of the Langoliers.
It's
The
fucking
Diet-
hilarious.
They open up
right.
their Diet Coke, so like that's the second event. Okay,
This isn't
'Cause
fuzzy.
everything
In
has
our
to happen
movie?
in threes. Yeah,
Yeah,
everything
yeah,
happens
yeah.
in threes, right? Screenwriting. So the first thing is the Wi-Fi. The second thing is like, well, there's no Wi-Fi, but I guess I'll just
least we
open
have
up
our
a
Diet Coke.
Opens the Diet Coke. Dude instantaneously dies of a heart attack because he realizes this Diet Coke is flat.
Coke Zero.
And he goes, "Why did he die?" And one of them like touches the Diet Coke, like as if they were a tracker, like
blood,
He goes like this. He goes, takes it on his. It's flat.
No.
They go, "Whoa!"
Do that as Nick Cage.
That's why they call it Coke
That's
Zero.
what Nick Cage does. Nick Cage, he gets down on one knee and he just kind of looks at it. He's like, "Well, my knowledge in being in movies tells me." Taste it. He goes, "It's flat. It's
Coke.
This Coke's got no carbonation."
There's got to be a
Carla
scene in there
was the
like
prom queen.
He says like it's flat, and someone's got to be like, "Son of a bitch."
Takes off his sunglasses.
And then there's a nerdy science guy who's like trying to like
Played by
explain-
Adam Brody.
Yeah, he's trying to explain everything, and he's just like,
40.
yeah. Oh, that's the thing about this movie. How about it's just
Everyone
like,
is
everybody,
40. That's
everybody's
true.
40 playing like
20 years old.
22,
True.
Okay?
I'm
Don't
actually
add
really into
anybody,
that. I think that's really funny.
Freddie Prinze Jr.
Oh,
is
no,
like
that's
the
our last
first-
Oh, we just had him in our last movie. We can't do that again.
Matthew Lillard is
Same.
there.
Yeah, we the whole Wing Commander.
They're
Oh
the
my
stars of Star
I
Trek
met
Troopers.
Matthew Lillard too at that thing. It was
He seems like
coolest-
he'd
He's
be a
probably
nice
pretty
guy.
awesome.
the coolest dude ever.
Nice.
dude.
Good
to
to
hear.
hear.
Plays
Cage with Lillard?
Want to hear something crazy
They're the
about
same
him real
guy,
quick?
almost.
He auditioned 4 times for Negan in The Walking Dead.
Really?
Matthew
yeah?
Lillard?
Yeah, and he would have been all right. Maybe not like his looks, but that personality, that quirkiness, that's what's missing from
Wow.
The Walking Dead in comic books. In the comic books, he's just
Matthew
a wacky
Lillard
freaking
is
dude.
Negan.
Wow.
Yeah. Just imagine.
That's a crazy.
all right, I'm
about
sorry.
that for a
Continue,
while.
or
I'd
get
rather
back to what you were
see
saying.
Nicolas Cage
No, I'm,
as Negan.
I'm just trying to think of like I don't want to do the typical their sacrifices to the island. That's so lame.
Okay, fine.
That's
All
like,
right.
So, but I think that they need to be chosen for a reason, and the rest of the world.
They're an
is-
experiment. It's an experiment, like the Belko experiment, but
Okay.
on a different level. Yeah, I mean it is. It's like the Belko experiment. That's what it turns out to be.
So
They're
are
just-
these specimens for some reason?
Yeah,
are they
they're
kind of-
there for behavioral studies on what happens when you remove a millennials
from from the conveniences
from
and their
Wi-Fi, Diet Coke, and like what happened, quinoa, everything. Nothing's gluten free. That's number 3.
Right, right,
They
right,
get
yes,
there,
yes,
and they
right.
realize that the kale is not kale, but it's just lettuce.
Right.
And
Right.
And then they realize that they're eating the pizza that they're eating. It doesn't have a gluten-free crust, and that's when we go into Act
We have to
Two.
make sure that none of them are actually have a gluten intolerance. They're just eating
Well, yeah,
it
they'll
for
sign waivers before they even get of
course.
cast.
All right, so it's like we're not doing a sacrificial thing.
No, I don't think so. But in the meantime, they are fighting off the elements, and then their power struggles.
So
that's the whole middle arc.
So the enemy is really just them. It's to see how they react to each other.
Yeah, pretty
so
much.
It's more
It's
of
a
a
man
lot of the-
versus man story.
So does it even
Man
need to
versus
be a
nature.
different dimension
Right.
now?
No, I don't think a dimension. I think it should be Earth, but it's shifted its polarity and something. I don't know. Maybe that's. The only
it could just
place.
be a natural disaster. I mean, at the end of the day, the fact that the festival's not happening, the airplane won't bring them back to the mainland. They're trapped in a natural disaster setting, and Lord of the Flies is taking in,
Right.
and one guy is struggling for. They're fighting for leadership amongst the. One guy has all the food. One guy has all the water. They're trying to get people to elect them to power. So it becomes a little bit of a political allegory in that way.
And then they run into Nick Cage, who's a local.
Well,
and
Nick Cage is the only personality that survived, and they turn to him. They're like, "What do we do?"
Oh, so
Nick?"
he came in with them.
Well, he's
Or
part
is
of the
he,
festival. Remember, he's part of the festival because he's Nick Cage playing himself.
Oh, right. Okay,
So
I'm sorry. I
they
forgot
go,
about that part.
Nick.
Right,
They go, Nick. What do we?
and he's like, "Yo, man, I'm just here."
You're older than everybody else here, Nick. You're
the
Everyone's
leader.
4 years old.
And
Well, in my movie, knowing, here's what happened.
No.
Well, it's a fireball.
Me and Jessica Biel.
The kids got taken to heaven. They were
little
by
girl wrote
space
the-
alien
wrote the plane
angels.
crash.
Wait, was Nicolas Cage ever teamed up with a rapper like Steven Seagal was always teamed up?
Nick
with?
Cannon. He teamed up with Nick Cannon.
yeah, that's
Oh,
right. In
in our
Cannon
movie.
Cage.
He's
Cannon
not a
Cage.
rapper.
Yeah, remake the remake.
That's right.
Which
Imagine
did,
if he talks about
amazing.
doing remake the remake in this movie.
Too
He says
meta.
that
That reminds me of
super amazing. That reminds me of remake the remake.
No,
we gotta come.
that reminds me of this. These guys that are on this podcast and they keep making movies about me.
If you're listening
And
to
I'm
this,
forced to do them because
And
you're
Mr.
listening-
Hollywood, this guy, he's up my ass.
if you're listening to this episode, we pitched the movie called Remake the Remake with Nicolas Cage. So if you missed that part.
It's
and
a
also
previous
I Am
episode.
Cage.
Yeah,
and
it's episode number 50. It's actually really good.
right. So we have to work that part out, but by the end, I really do think that
do they get off the island or are they just stuck there?
I think they get off the island,
Gotta
but
die there. One
but-
survivor.
well,
Nicolas
pretty much.
Cage sacrifices himself.
has to, at
like
the very
Gene
last minute.
Hackman in the Poseidon Adventure.
Duh. Yeah, he's
Nicolas
hanging off the
Cage.
thing.
Oh my God, Nicolas Cage is pretty much Gene Hackman in Poseidon Adventure, and he sacrifices
Wow. Oh
himself.
my God, you're
falls
right, he
into the
is.
fire.
No.
Yeah.
So
then the
that-
island blows up because of the force of Cage hitting the
Force
fire.
of Cage.
Well, it turns into a rage cage. That's what happens.
Yeah!
You get a rage
Well,
cage.
Rage in the Cage?
maybe the real thing was like this island needed Nicolas Cage there more than anything.
that was the
And
purpose.
then, okay, final
That
shot.
Cage is the key.
Wait
Cage
a
is
minute.
the key.
Final shot after Nicolas Cage is dead, and everybody's like, "Whoa, Nicolas Cage saved his life for us." And you see his like face in like the sky. As, like,
Fucking what, Mufasa?
And then-
He's like a
and then-
Mufasa?
yeah, he's kind of like a Mufasa. And then you're panning up from the island, bird's eye view shot, and the whole island turns out to be just like at the end of The Shining. It turns out to be in the visage of Nicolas Cage himself.
What like Momoa, like with the fucking it's the island is in the shape of Moana.
I did not see that.
Momoa,
You don't like
I did not see that one,
Momoa,
but,
Samosa. You ever see that? movie?
That's
Wait.
the new Disney one, right?
I like that idea.
Okay.
But what if this? Here, let me add this on.
I just feel like that's
So-
too close to an ending of I Am Cage.
So the smoke is coming up. So Cage dies. The kids get off. The smoke comes up, and they see Nicolas Cage's face in the smoke. But then it turns into John Travolta as it fades away.
Oh my god, I love that idea.
Just a little Easter egg?
Or the smoke's face kind of comes off and it's just John Travolta.
Hey, as it's fading away,
Yeah.
you just kind of see a second of Travolta.
This is
There's
getting
an echo.
too
There's an echo, and it goes,
weird.
"Hey, Sandy."
All right, so we got that ending, but I still think that the big plot hole.
I don't
is-
know if I like that ending, guys.
I don't like it either.
It was a joke.
But before we get to that,
He does kill himself, though.
Before we get
Yeah,
to the
that's
ending,
cool.
I think we need to decide on what to do with our Johnny Walker Red character because I think he's the key.
Oh, he's part of the franchise. He's still walking down the island at the end, and then you think part two.
But I think he's probably the architect of this whole thing, right?
Yeah, I would think so.
I mean, he is the architect, but here's the thing:
What-
he's
what-
just in the background. He's never. It's like a Lynch thing.
Right.
It's just like you just see him walking, and he's just like,
All
"Oh,
right,
nice."
I got an idea.
Well,
What if
cool.
this
Right.
isn't really an island, but it's really just a ship that looks like an island?
Ooh,
I love that.
A ship that looks
love
like
that.
So it is a cabin in the woods.
It's like a spaceship.
So we cabin in the woods,
love it.
basically.
Love
But
it.
yeah,
It's alien.
space.
It's a spaceship.
Oh my god,
floating in the water.
Okay, this will make sense because on the
Yeah.
planes they had to take
Makes
there.
total-
How about
They pass out.
How about this?
Sleep.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe they're given mimosas?
A sedative.
Okay,
They're giving Momoas. Go ahead.
they're given mimosas and they drink them.
Isn't that a cookie?
And they
No, that's a
actor.
Samoa.
It's a Samoa. Yeah.
A Momoa is an actor, a very large.
Wait, where's
actor.
The Rock in all of this? By the
Oh,
way?
please.
No,
let's-
Jason Momoa is the new Rock. Okay?
This is awesome
Can we
because
just agree on that?
it is a spaceship, okay, and maybe they're going to colonize another planet, but they're testing them out on this ship.
Oh, that's awesome.
Okay,
Yeah, that's
they're testing
awesome.
out. They're testing out if humans are ready to claim the society.
And
on
Cage
the
is
side.
like Jesus to everybody because he dies for
Well,
everybody's
let me finish. Because on the planes they took there, they were knocked out or there was no windows, and they actually fucking went into space. These are space planes,
absolutely.
right?
And it's to
Okay.
see that if can human millennials travel great distances in space without Wi-Fi or carbonation or Diet Coke?
Are they?
And Nicolas Cage is not real. He's an android like David in like.
That's right. He picks up his head.
No, wait.
He picks up his head.
Hear
He
me
puts it
out.
back on. He goes, "All right."
Hear me out.
guys.
I think Nicolas Cage should die to sacrifice himself for the humanity of the people that he's there with, and
Right.
he becomes their new god because you need a religion to control people.
Yes.
And they worship Cage.
Can Cage sacrifice himself even though he doesn't have to? Like he thinks it's so dramatic.
Watching the movies.
He's
We're
like,
following you. Why did you
"Wait,
do
Nick,
that?
Nick, there's more than there's like 3 extra seats here on the escape road. No, just go, just go." He's like, no. We have like
Tell my
we
wife
have
and
like
kids I love
15
her. You
extra-
can tell them that you love them. You can
Wait,
get
no,
back.
Nick, no, we have like 15 more minutes, and like there's like 5 extra seats. Oh, just go,
Remember me?
Okay, so he becomes a thing of
A
worship.
Christ-like figure.
Okay, but the whole thing is to see if millennials are actually, are they basically ready to start a new society?
And the answer is no.
The answer is
Yeah.
a
They
fucking
are
hard
not.
no.
A definitive no.
Oh, I love it. That's great.
All right,
Guys, are we ready to go up and?
greenlit.
I think we're ready to go up and. We're pressing a
Wow,
button.
you,
They
it
can't
really
see.
is. It's a greenlit button.
We're pussing the button, Sean. We're pussing it.
No, this is great. This is
Yeah.
fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I love the fact that you just turned it around with that space ending, which
Yeah.
is I think that's what it needed.
Hey,
So they were in
definitely needed
space-
something out of this world.
Well, to realize they were in space the whole time.
It's a lot
is like,
different than.
oh.
It's a lot different.
Well, that's
than
why
the
it's
normal
always
things you
dark.
pitch.
He's running towards the exit. He's running. He thinks he's like, "Oh, I'm just going to swim for it." But when he gets there, it's just like the Truman Show. He swims.
Yeah.
And then when
Yeah.
he bumps into a wall, he's like, "Oh my god!"
However,
we're on
there
a
are
spaceship."
still sharks. There are still sharks. And
Well, there's
Space sharks.
Wait a minute. Does Nicolas Cage sacrifice himself to a shark?
No.
He gets eaten by a shark.
I mean, what, like
And he
fucking
doesn't
Deep Blue
have
Sea
to.
style? Like
He
Yeah.
doesn't have to.
That fucking scene.
Yeah.
Can I just digress? That scene in Deep Blue Sea is absolutely the most ridiculous fucking scene ever.
What, the Sam Jackson scene?
No, it's
no,
like the greatest
when she
scene
jumps
ever.
into the water and she's
Oh,
trying
yeah.
to make a connection with the
Oh,
shark.
yeah.
And the fucking thing just eats her anyway. You stupid bitch.
Yeah, she was an idiot.
Dumb
Well,
bitch.
we have to populate our movie with people that dumb.
Yeah.
Because
Oh, yeah.
That's
Or else
that's
they
our,
won't make decisions, and then the movie doesn't
They
progress.
say,
I love it.
They say shit like, "I saw this in a YouTube video."
Yeah,
All right,
yeah,
but
exactly.
we seriously
yes,
need
yes.
we need like an after the credits scene that just like kind of
Nick Cage is still alive.
No. It has nothing to do with Nick Cage.
Are we MCUing this?
Sam
no,
Jackson.
Hell
no,
yeah.
no franchise. This is it for this.
One off?
It's a one-off. Here, it has to be like a
Might
fucking
need a prequel.
super weird scene where like they're in like they're in the spaceship and they're just, and like it's we got to figure out what kind of aliens they are. But I'm thinking like a Kane and Kodos kind of thing from The Simpsons. Like they were just you find out that it was all a test and like humanity has failed.
Yeah, you think that aliens
And so they
orchestrated
press the
this?
button, and then the Earth blows up.
Wait, didn't we just agree that it was a spaceship that they were on?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it could be a U.S. spaceship or a Chinese spaceship. It doesn't have to be an alien
true. It
spaceship.
doesn't have to be-
I thought it was.
aliens.
I thought it was like humans are trying to colonize another planet, and they picked
It's a
these.
global. It's a global
Yeah,
spaceship.
right.
They're just trying
It's-
to colonize
it's-
other planets.
Yeah, it's like Contact when they built
It's
two of
an
those
Elon-
machines.
it's like an
The
Elon
Illuminati, which is
Yeah.
composed of a bunch of random cameos after this. Ready?
Will
so
likes
the
this already.
New World Order, the shadowy New World Order, which
Are we
is
good?
like
Wait, are we going to
every-
do a Stonecutter scene like in The Simpsons where it's like a bunch of random stars, like
We
Sylvester
do,
Stallone's
yes,
there?
pretty
It's like,
much.
why is Stallone
Yes.
in the Illuminati?
Pretty much.
All right, I'm cool with it. If we end it like that, and there's like a bunch of celebrities around a table, it's like, well, that didn't work at all.
Yeah, all right,
And that's how the movie
yeah.
ends. It's
Yeah.
like, why are all you people here?
And
That's
this
cool.
is called FYRE Island. FYRE.
Stephen King's Fire Island.
Dude, that sounds just like the ABC like trailer guy voice.
In the world.
1994.
Yeah, we got to get the new trailer guy voice. So the new trailer guy who's like doesn't care. He's like Fire Island.
The year is 2017.
The guy who doesn't care anymore. Like the old guy was like Fire Island. Now this new guy's like Fire Island.
How about
Stephen King.
The 80s.
Fire Island.
Yeah, the 80s is like Nicolas Cage's on a plane.
So, did you ever see that? That
How to get burned? How to get burned?
How to get burned? There's that. Someone made like a jokey kind of like Shining trailer. It was like making it into like
the chickening.
Shining.
Yeah, the chickening. Yeah, that's good too.
Chickening's really good.
All right, let's go up to Jeff Frumess. Thank you so much for coming in
Guys,
here.
thank you so
Good
much for
job.
having me.
Where
This
can-
was so much fun.
Where can people find more of the stuff that you do? Your movie, your upcoming Misfits collaboration. What is
that?
this?
Well, that's called They Came from Lodi. That's a long. I've been working on that for 7 years. I'm still making
Man.
that. So
Whoa!
that's
And you've
awesome. The whole
interviewed
thing.
all those guys and everything.
I've interviewed a lot of them. I'll tell you more about it. No, I'll tell you more about it off
Mike?
Off mic. Yeah.
Well, where can people find out more about like your socials? Where can they find out more info?
So pretty much go to facebook.com and then / Romeo's Distress movie or / video business media or / They Came from Lodi.
Video
Or / rock and roll or / Cooking with Sal, because we do a rock and roll Cooking with Sal B show.
Oh my God.
In New Jersey. That's a lot of fun. That we have
Jeez.
people come on and
slow
Sal
down.
cooks for 'em.
Slow down, man. Jeez.
Slow
That's it.
down.
Keep going.
Going too
Keep
fast.
going, man.
Keep
Never
going.
stop.
Suck that.
Slow down.
And Jeff,
dick
please
of
come back.
making movies.
I would
Jeff,
love.
come back
I would
and
love
pitch
to do
your
this
triple
anytime.
crossover.
Anytime
No.
you guys need a guest, you friggin'
Let's do this
hit me
again
up.
because we just did a crossover. So let's wait a little while and we'll do that. We'll do that next crossover.
As long as it's Saturday, you just drop me a line,
All right.
and I will be here with bells on.
All right, man. Well, you're coming upstairs to Mr. Hollywood's office at the.
I
the
can't
top
wait
of
to
the
meet
floor.
him.
You're
I heard you're not supposed to look him in the eye.
No, don't look him in the eye.
Don't be too excited.
All right, I won't.
You kind of be like monotone. Just like, hi, this is our
okay.
pitch.
Now they've put us in bubbles. Now we go in there because he's a little kind of
He's a
paranoid about.
hypochondriac. a
Yeah,
little
well, he
bit.
doesn't want to breathe the same air, basically. So we have to go in there in
I
bubbles.
understand. He's like that. The president. He's like President Winky in Spaceballs, right?
Pretty
Perry-
much.
He
Perry air?
pulls out Perry air.
Air, pretty much. Yeah. Well, he doesn't want us breathing his air. That's really
Yeah,
what
fair
it
enough,
is,
fair
'cause
enough.
the air costs a lot of money.
Yeah, that's true.
It's the best.
Or it's American air from
This
Canada.
is pure oxygen.
Yeah, pretty much. So he pays a lot for the air in his office. So Jeff, thank you so much, man.
Thank
We're
you,
going
guys.
up. I'm pressing
Thank
the
you.
button. We're going upstairs right
Ding.
now.
Let's do it.
Fuck you, Pete. Fucking revenge time. All right.
Oh.
We'll talk to you next week. Thanks so much for listening.
Bye.
Thank you.
You've been listening to the Pitch It Movie Podcast. If you like what you've heard, do us a favor and subscribe to us on iTunes, SoundCloud, or on your favorite podcast app.
Then please don't forget to leave us a comment too.
Listen and subscribe to the Pitch It Movie Podcast on your favorite podcast app to automatically get the latest episode every week for free.